Catch up on all the live shows right here on africatechradio.com.
Hi, how you doing? How you feeling? How they do for body? Nigeria is not smiling the way it's supposed to smile. Africa, well, let me not even get into that. But we're not going to talk about the countries right now because we have something else to talk about. It's Africa Tech Radio, by the way, and my name is Lillian, and you can call me your brown sugar. And see, people have been saying that Africa is the world's fastest growing economy. They tell you that we are growing fast in every aspect, especially trade, especially commerce. But I'm telling you that this is backed by studies, right? There are reports upon reports upon reports on this. True. It doesn't mean that we don't have our own fair share of setbacks in various industries, in all industries actually. And one of such is the logistics and shipping industry. So we'll be discussing the critical issues surrounding logistics in Africa. And by we, I mean my humble self. I'm very humble, you know. And the CEO of ShipAfrica.io, Valentine Buchi. Hello.
Hi, Lillian.
Why are you laughing? It's not .io.
yes, very, very important because we need to put it there.
Yes, so
ShipAfrica.io basically. So yeah, I'm pleased to be here. I'm actually glad to be here actually. So thank you for having me.
Of course, it's our pleasure. You know, I told you that there's no way I'll just ask you these things without doing a little bit background check. I have to find out what's happening.
Yeah, most definitely.
So shipping, why? Why did you choose shipping?
We all know, I don't want to go to the nitty-gritty of being a Nigerian, how it's tough to be a Nigerian, the issues we face and all, right? Did a whole lot of things, done that, trying to find your middle ground in Nigeria as it is. So it got me thinking. So logistics, most of the times when you want to do something, when you want to send something, first off, interstate, you want to do way bill, right? All the issues regarding that, sometimes you would not even see your shipments. Sometimes you want to do way bill, go to the park, the young go park, drop it there. 5 days you'll be calling. If you go back there, okay, they've sent your shipment to. They don't send your product. It will soon arrive. You would be calling like you would leave it with nobody at anybody's mercy, not being able to track it, not being able to give real-time updates of your item or your shipment. So there are a whole lot of issues surrounding that, you know, because most times you have to send some important items and everything is done manually and all of that. So, and I was actually thinking of it one day that, okay, I had a guy, one of my friends that handles logistics. I was in talks with him, and so I asked him, "How is this thing like?" He said, "Well, it's a lot too, but I mean, lately we have been doing this and doing that." I actually worked with some logistics company. That was actually when it dawned on me, like, I can actually try to do this. You know, I can actually make a difference in the logistics sector. So we had to put two and two together. Get some part of my team, had to work on something together. We started from there.
I must say that when you were talking about the challenges, like you always talk about challenges that we face in we're billing, right?
I'm telling you,
my face was like, you don't say, because the last one I did.
Everybody has.
So I have to give it up to some of these logistics, some of these travel companies, right? These people have they have these travel companies and they have apps where you can track your shipping. But you see those nameless ones. In fact, some of them have names, but they refuse to grow.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of those refuse to grow.
It's a lot.
The last one, the guy insulted me on top of my own material. But that is not the point. That's not why
that's the story for another day, because I mean, we get that a lot too as well. We get that as well too. So it's a lot. It's a lot. Let's not just go into that.
Okay. So what then do you love most? I know that we talk about a lot of challenges and everything, but what do you love most about this industry? Because for you to be in this industry, you get why. So what is the why?
Okay, because we don't want to delve into money. Money follows, but let's not.
You're delving into what you don't want to delve into.
Exactly, but we all know we can always try to deny that passion drives you. I mean, passion too, but funds is very important. So aside that, I am a solution provider. I love solving problems, right? And there is this joy that when you when I hear customers' feedback and they say, yes, you guys delivered, though, I was not expecting it. It was swift. It was right on time. Issues like that. I just love when people bring issues, right?
Yeah.
I help them solve it. It was part of those things. And one of the ways to contribute to that in this I don't want to say hard economy or hard country, well, in this our
hard knock life. It's a hard knock life.
It's not easy to solve people's problems. It's not easy to bring solutions, but we try to do that, and we see it's actually working. So yeah, it's one of the things I love the most. Aside,
money. They say bring the money that you put aside. What are you talking about?
I mean, at the end of the day, nobody wants to be solving a solution that you would be solving the solution, solving yourself inside.
Passion that is not giving you money. What is that?
Everything gets it. I mean, if I bring the solutions and we don't have the funds to keep up to it, nobody wants to come and use us.
Right? Because now money they make money.
Exactly.
Let us be very factual.
Everything needs to be in place, being checked.
So what are those mistakes that you think key players in the industry make? Because we are pointing out some problems, right?
Yes.
And this is due to some mistakes that key players in the industry make. What are they? Okay,
so first things first, right, is there is this, I don't know if I would call it stigma in the logistics business. I don't know. But, when you've made a name and you have lots of clients or customers using your platform, I think most of all the successful logistics companies, partners, aggregators, I think they are so used to that. And one other thing that I think that they don't focus on most of the time is customer experience, right? Okay. Or customer satisfaction. It's very hard to satisfy customers, but most of the time, I'm not going to lie, it's not easy. Satisfying customers in logistics business. It's a lot because
customers are always right.
Yeah, exactly. People don't actually understand the processes that has when it comes to this logistics. There are a whole lot of process that happen at a time. Please,
just enlighten us. So we'll start having feelings. Do you know?
All right. Okay. Let me just give a simple scenario. Right. A customer places an order or submits a shipment or books a shipment as it is, right? And they would want to have the tracking number like right now, to start tracking it right now,
That's not even left. They have not even registered it.
Even before leaving, right? There are whole lots of process that gets to that point, right? So you would book the shipment. Although we are now, thanks to technology, there is a way that when you book a shipment, you get your label instantly. So that one gives an edge, right? But customers you would send them their invoice, their AWB number, and all. They would easily go and check it. What are you checking? You just dropped it. I mean, we need to do our due diligence to see that the item you filled in when you're booking the shipment actually correlates with the one you dropped off. Right, and we need to do due diligence to see that what you're sending is the details of the item is in line with what you actually dropped, and if the country you're sending it to, if it's actually movable to the country, and if you're going to maybe encounter an issue, with the customs over there or law enforcement agency at the receiving country, a whole lot of things we need to do that before we even. You start seeing it moving in transit or something, but customers they don't care about that. Like
just collect and throw.
I'm not saying this is not real. I'm not saying I mean, so it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot for that, and I mean, a lot of upgrade has been done to that regard. I mean, we're actually doing way better now. There is still the manual process, and there is still the automated process. So I mean, it's one step at a time. So
shipping in Africa. Even travel in Africa is not easy. You would think that as an African, traveling to an African country would be easier, but it's difficult, right?
Yeah.
So shipping, I assume it's the same. Do you have some critical challenges or issues that face shipping? Let's go to the topic. In Africa, can you tell us some of them?
All right, so there are a whole lot of critical issues surrounding logistics in Africa, a whole lot of them, and they actually need to be addressed. Right, but in Ship Africa, we are focused on these critical issues, and we're actually providing solutions to solving them. Okay. Right. The first one is inadequate technology adoption.
Okay.
right? So many logistics companies in Africa will still rely on the manual process, right, to get the logistic operations done, to get the job done in logistics. So most of these issues is because of inadequate access to technology as it is, for tracking, inventory management, route optimizations. So a whole lot, right? And that is one of the solutions. So one of the solutions that ShipAfrica.io is I need to put that.
I was wondering when you did that.
So ShipAfrica.io, one of the issues we are trying to it's part of the issues we are trying to solve. So we're actually building on a new product. It's called 3PL Connect. It was actually created specifically for third-party logistics providers, which are the 3PLs. So it is a very user-friendly and powerful platform where third-party logistics would have their own dedicated website. Would create it for them. They would manage the customer experience. Going to their website, booking the shipment. I mean, you would see an intrastate logistics provider, right? So all these guys that have the bikes out there, you would see them. They actually do these manual processes, right? You want to ship, give them my number, message me on WhatsApp. I want to do this. No,
call them on your way. Let them direct you.
So there are ways we can create a customized website for them, right? So anytime a customer wants to make a shipment or anything, they will go to their website, they will sign up, they will book a shipment. They will actually have a shipment number. They can be able to track their shipments as it is, right, from the pickup point to the drop off the customer's destination, right? So we're actually working on that to make it seamless or efficient for customers. So that is one of them. And also security concerns. We all know how like I said, Waybill. Sending shipments is very, very somehow. Most times when people are sending their shipments, they actually be like, most of us don't even get our shipment delivered in one piece,
I know, right?
Yeah.
There was a lady who talked about how she brought a laptop from abroad, and the laptop was only the carton that she received. It was a big deal.
It's a lot. So anytime a customer is sending shipments, if it's giving them, when you book a shipment, right, you're going to be seeing maybe estimated delivery dates. So when it's gotten to that date and they've not seen it, they'll start panicking like, are you sure people are legit? Yes. Are you sure something is not happening to my, parcel item shipments and all of that? So we actually partnered with an insurtech company, Curacell. So the thing is, we always advise our customers, right, to secure their shipments, right, to ensure it. It is only, it's not mandatory, but it is a necessity for them to ensure their product. So what happens is you are financially secured, right? So should anything happen to your shipments, you would get refunded the complete amount of the shipment as it is. So that curbs the security issues, right? So when you insure your item, your shipment or your parcel you're about to send, you don't have to worry about it anymore. When it gets delivered, it's delivered. If it's not in one piece, you can drop a complaint.
Speaking of that insurance thing, a friend of mine told me to do a Waybill, to the east for him, and I used a named courier service. But then they asked me how much it was worth.
Yes.
And I told the person, asked him how much is this thing was. Said, don't tell them, because if you tell them, they will add money to the shipping fee. And I said, so if this thing now gets missing somehow, what would you do about it? You can't tell them that you are held liable because you didn't declare the total worth of that particular good. Then I explained to him that I don't even know what I was saying, but I said that if you tell them, then they will provide the money back.
It even happened to one of our customers, right? The customer was actually sending in a very expensive item, right? What millions of naira. And they undervalued it. Ooh. Right? Let me say it's worth maybe like 2.5 million, and they said it's worth 50,000. So what happened was that when it got to the known company, right? it was. Would I use sophisticated? It was taken apart, right? It was to drop the item of what's the 50,000?
Oh my gosh!
Right. So when the receiver got his hand, it was a whole lot. It created havoc, and there is no way for you to get that back. It's not insured.
Yeah,
you
and
undervalued it. You know.
No evidence.
So the customer was like, "This is not unacceptable."
Yeah.
Right. This shipment is worth 2.5 million, and what is happening? You know, it was a whole lot of back and forth. We actually had to go to the office of the providers, the logistics company, courier company, and they were like, yeah, it was registered, you know, it was registered, but how did it get missing? Nobody, I mean, there's nothing to hold back. You don't have insurance, you did not insure the item, and you undervalued. So it was a whole lot. The customer paid actually after going to Panty prison and all of that. After everything, he had to pay, and he had to bail himself out. So to curb these issues, right, it is better you insure. We always advise our customers, if this item is very, very valuable, insure them so that you don't have issues like this coming up. And undervaluation is a thing again, right? It's a thing that we need to look into. I mean, the reason is not for the freight price. Actually, the reason why they do undervaluation is for the customer not to impose a huge price for clearance, right, for the duty. So that is the reason why most people undervalue. So that is it. And at the end of the day, most time it backfired. It backfires, sorry, because
penny wise, pound foolish.
You know Nigerians now. We always think we'll get away with everything, but I mean, there's always a day for payback time. Yeah, so that is part of that. And the last one I would want to mention and put out there is high transportation costs. You know, we all know how the hike in dollar rates, fuel price as well, has already contributed across board. I mean, everywhere, individuals, businesses, we are all feeling it, and logistics is feeling it the most, right? Because the price has already skyrocketed, right? The rate skyrocketed, and we're actually working on ways to give our customers a very, very, very competitive rate. So, for instance, you can walk into a DHL store or UPS store to send maybe a document to the UK, and DHL can actually maybe just charge you like 50,000 or 60,000, right? But if you come to shipafrica.io and book that same document using that same DHL, we can give you 50% off.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so that is how it is. So these are part of the critical issues we are solving at shipafrica.io.
So Ship Africa works with other companies?
Yes, the known companies, DHL, UPS.
Oh.
Yes.
I think it's worth mentioning.
And they're actually working on getting FedEx and Aramex too.
So I can just walk into, go to Ship Africa's website and choose whichever one I want.
Yes, exactly. You can choose. So when you go to the shipafrica.io, you want to book a shipment, you can choose the courier partner you want to use. Right, you can choose DHL. Yeah, DHL goes for you, and you can actually drop off at any DHL outlet, any at all.
I think that should be like the headline to your advert campaign. Choose your own company, right? We are not the ones that are sending it. Exactly. We are just the middleman.
I mean, just like I did not think I introduced Ship Africa.
You did it, so now it's time for you to do that.
So first off, Ship Africa, we are a digital platform, yes, providing access to logistics solutions, right, enabling individuals and businesses access the global economy. That is what we do.
I'm still speaking plenty English.
Okay.
You see, this is I said. You didn't capture the other one that I talked about now.
All right. So what we do in Ship Africa is, if you have anything to send to anybody, right, to any part of the world, right, we will use DHL for you. We would use UPS for you. We would use FedEx for you. We would use Aramex for you at a very tailored and competitive rate. That's just it, right? So if DHL is charging you 50,000, you come to Ship Africa, we still use DHL for you. Can charge you 50% less.
Okay, so you take the burden on your own self.
Yes, we sort it out,
Normal.
Yes, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's all of the ideas I had, initially that made me want to start up Ship Africa, right? Like I spoke about it, issues that we are facing and the solutions to it. I said high transportation costs, right? So we are trying to make it easy and seamless.
Is there any way that the government can come in to mitigate the effects of all these things you've mentioned on this company? How do you think they can do it?
Partnerships with other African countries helps.
Right.
Yes, it's going to help a whole lot, because there are all these duties, all this custom cost. If you come into partnerships, right, it is going to cut off a whole lot. I mean, they can say, okay, so long as you're in a partnership, right, this country have all these things in place, you don't need to pay duty when you want to send a passport to this country, so long as it is part of the requirements or the part of the scalable items that can pass through the company. You understand? So, I mean, if it comes to government, can do a whole lot, right? When it has to come to route optimization as well, there are some locations that is not traceable or trackable, as it were. If government can step in, all these things will be solved.
So if you're tracking, you don't see your goods on the map, and you start having palpitations.
Even all these known platforms that we use, sometimes if you want to send to some locations, they will tell you you have to pay extra money because they would outsource.
Well, it's the same thing. I want to book an e-cab to a certain location in Lagos.
Yeah.
I beg, I know they go that side though. I beg, unless you go add extra 2,000 naira.
Exactly.
So you guys,
it actually plays into the logistics sector as well, right? So for instance, let me just use Lagos as an example. You want to ship to Ikeja. You want to ship to Lekki. It's not the same price that you're going to be charged when you're shipping to Ikorodu, Badagry, Agbara. Is not the same price. You will pay more for that.
Yeah. Because
even the known logistics or courier companies that they actually outsource those locations. They don't have their logistics meted to those locations. They will outsource.
I don't blame them because there's one particular person who came to deliver to me and then I re-delivered it, like took them to go somewhere else. He did though. Yeah. He went to that place and they beat him.
Wow.
I was supposed to be laughing. Where's the truth? They beat him up, right? Because they look like that. So next time the guy will say he's not going there, and you will not say anything.
These are actually issues, right? That the government can actually, come in and try to help us curb that. And e-commerce is like a booming business right now. E-commerce grows a whole lot, and what that does is it gives us more opportunity. It gives logistics in Africa more opportunity because e-commerce is growing so much. And for commerce as a whole, what the issues commerce face in Africa is payments and logistics. So if you can get all these things sorted, I mean, I can say a whole lot that the government is doing for payments. If they can actually do a bit of that for logistics, it's going to go a long way. I mean, we won't be bothering about a whole lot of things that we do, because even as much as we try to even bring in tech, like I said, tech solutions and all of that, there are some processes there when you get to, you still do that manual process again.
Yes.
But I mean, it is way better now than it was before. I mean, so it's progress, we're growing.
Speaking of progress, where do you see logistics in the future, especially Ship Africa?
Yeah, it's logistics is a big business, and I see investors. I mean, there are already tapping into it right now. So I see investors focusing on logistics a whole lot more, because there is a whole lot of things. There is a whole lot of milk to stock out from logistics. It's a whole lot. So yes, I see Ship Africa growing to be a Pan-African organization or platform as it is, right, over time. And I see governments playing a huge role in logistics as well. I think it would get noticed over time.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us on Africa Tech Radio. It has been an enlightening conversation. In case you're just joining us, we've been having a chat with Valentine Buchi, the CEO of ShipAfrica.io.
Exactly. Very, very important.
Very, very important.
You need to put that.
And there's a power of repetition. people will never think about Ship Africa without saying .io.
.io.
Say, oh, where's the website?
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's even part of our
smart man.
brands, logos, and all of that. So it has to be there. ShipAfrica.io.
Then there's
yeah. That one is another extra one. But you need to get familiar with ShipAfrica.io first off, before the plane, flying.
When you go there, you can see what.
Yeah, you can see everything. But just go to ShipAfrica.io. Just type it in right now as you're listening. Just ShipAfrica.io. You can sign up. You can initiate a shipment.
It can be a habit.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. My name is Lillian. You're listening to Africa Tech Radio. Make it a habit to search ShipAfrica.io and AfricaTechRadio.com.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to catch up on all the live shows right here on AfricaTechRadio.com.